Hey mamas, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to another Monday Mindset episode of Mom Wife Career Life. This week on the podcast, we're talking about dreams, about goals, about perseverance, and what happens when the timeline you had in your head doesn't exactly match the timeline that life has planned for you. And tomorrow's episode is a really special one for me because I'm celebrating a milestone that at one point felt very, very far away. And as I was thinking about everything that went into reaching this milestone, I kept coming back to this week's mindset shift. A dream doesn't expire just because it takes longer than you thought. Now let's jump in and break this one down. Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life's weekly empowering episode of Monday's Motivational Mindset. And you know what that means. It's time to kickstart your week with a boost of inspiration, positivity, and a whole lot of motivation. Working moms, I get it. Mondays can be tough. We all know that. But they're also a chance for a fresh start, a new opportunity, and the perfect day to set the tone for a successful week ahead. I'm Carrie Pat, your host and fellow working mom. Every week, I'll be sharing a motivational quote and we'll break it down, share stories, and uncover the wisdom it holds for our unique journey as working moms. So whether you're getting ready for work, making those school lunches, or just enjoying a quiet moment alone, let's dive into this week's dose of motivation. Let's make this Monday count. This week's mindset shift is for all the moms who had a goal, a dream, or something that you really wanted for yourself, and then life happened. You got busy, you got distracted, you got overwhelmed, maybe you had to hit the pause button for a little while, and somewhere along the way, maybe you started listening to that annoying voice in your head telling you that too much time has passed and you missed your chance, or maybe it just wasn't going to happen for you. If that's you, I really want you to hear this one, because just because you had to pause a dream doesn't mean you have to give up on it. My hope is that today's episode sparks that little fire inside of you again and reminds you that it's not too late to go after the things you still want for your life. A dream doesn't expire just because it takes longer than you thought. How many times have you had a goal, a dream, or something you just really wanted to do, and you gave yourself this imaginary timeline in your head for when it was all supposed to happen and unfold? By this age, I should have this done. By the end of the year, I should be there. I thought my business would be so much further along by now. I thought I would have lost the weight by now. I thought I'd have more money saved by now. I thought I'd finally have time to write the book, start the business, take the trip, go back to school. And then life happens. Because especially as moms, we're not pursuing our dreams in a vacuum. We're pursuing them while raising kids, working, managing a home, showing up for our marriages and our relationships. Maybe you're taking care of aging parents, paying bills, making dinner, driving everyone everywhere, dealing with all the unexpected things that come up, and then trying to remember why you walked in the kitchen in the first place. Story of my life. But sometimes your dream doesn't disappear. It just gets quieter for a while. And I think there's a really important difference between giving up on a dream and allowing the dream to move at a pace your life can handle right now. We're so quick to look at someone else and think, look how fast she did it. She launched a business, she got the promotion, she lost the weight, she wrote the book, she grew the following, she made a career change. And we start comparing her timeline to ours without knowing what her life looks like behind the scenes. But your timeline is your timeline. Maybe you thought something would take 1 year and it takes 3 years, like me, and it's probably going to take 4. But maybe you thought you'd start the business when your kids were little and you realized the season of motherhood needs more of you. Maybe you had to put a goal on a back burner because your career became more demanding, your family needed you, your finances changes, or you simply just didn't have the capacity. That doesn't mean the dream is gone. And it definitely does not mean you failed. So please, if you feel like that, give yourself grace. I think sometimes we assume perseverance means constantly pushing, keep going, work harder, do more, never stop. But I don't think that's what perseverance always looks like. Sometimes perseverance is doing a little bit when you can. This podcast is my perseverance. I have such bigger goals, but that's all I've had the capacity for the last year and a half. Sometimes it's slowing down without quitting. Sometimes it's changing the plan. Sometimes it's letting go of the timeline while still holding on to that dream. And sometimes perseverance is simply saying, this still matters to me. Maybe I can't give it everything right now, but I'm not letting go of it. And that's what this podcast has been for me not letting go of my dreams. I have such bigger dreams and goals for my life and for my business, but this podcast has been my perseverance. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for helping me let this grow. And please help me inspire you, because I know you might be going through different seasons in your life. And I've learned so much through these different seasons. There's going to be seasons when you have the time and energy to go all in on the goal. And unfortunately, there's going to be those seasons where keeping that dream alive is going to have to be enough. Both count. And I want you to remember that, because tomorrow I'm going to share something really personal with you about a dream I had when I first started this podcast, and a goal that I honestly had no idea how long it would take me to reach. And spoiler alert, it took a lot longer than I originally thought. But looking back, I'm actually really grateful for everything that happened between setting that goal and finally reaching it, because the person who set that goal and the person who reached it are not the same person. And I think that's part of the journey we forget. Sometimes it takes longer because we're still becoming the person who is ready for what we're asking for. So my challenge for you this week, mamas, is think about one dream or goal that you've quietly started believing you're behind on. Maybe you haven't given up on it completely, but you've stopped talking about it. You stopped working towards it. Or maybe somewhere along the way, you decided that because it hasn't happened yet, maybe it never will. And I want you to bring that dream back in front of you, front of mind, and ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do to keep this dream alive? Not finish it, not figure out the entire plan, not completely rearrange your life, just keep it alive. Maybe it's writing it down again. Maybe you spend 20 minutes researching it. Maybe you make the phone call. Maybe you put the $25 in a savings account. Maybe you block an hour on your calendar. Maybe you tell someone about it. DM me on Instagram. Tell me about it. I will light that fire inside of you. Or maybe you simply allow yourself to believe in it again, because a dream doesn't expire just because it takes longer than you thought. You're not behind. You're living your life. And sometimes the dreams that take a little longer to reach end up meaning even more when you finally get there. Speaking from experience here. So go into this week and ask yourself, what dream am I not ready to give up on? And then take that one small step towards it. And I'd love to hear what your dream is. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can come over and help inspire other moms in our Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life, or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.